Hello everybody. Welcome. You won't be able to see me right now, but we're going to be over here today, over in the lab. So come join me. Let's hope it stays on there. So just putting my tea down and getting myself set up. So it's kind of like a beta launch. Let me know in the chat the audio's coming out okay. And right. So this is a bit of a beta launch really. I'm just looking to Margie Mulder in the house. Extreme focus in the house. Here's my hand. So we're going to be doing some things today. I'm going to show you what we're going to be working on first of all. So let's come over here and here we go. So this is what we're working with. This is the Sentry Turret, Sentry Drone, and yeah, basically I need to do some work on it. There's a problem with the board here, which I need to remake this circuit board essentially. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm struggling to see what I'm looking at, but I'll get it figured out as we go. Like I say, this is a beta launch, so I don't really have a way of viewing what I'm viewing apart from 30 seconds later. Just taking off some sticky tape. So this is a Sentry Turret that I designed and built a long time ago. It's basically a pan and tilt system which is capable of some pretty heavy duty stuff. I'm not sure what the camera angle's like. I'm hoping that's okay. You'll also notice in the corner the YouTube's been removing subscribers, so I've put that up there. So if anyone new comes along, they can click subscribe and they'll see if the number goes up live or not. So I've set that thing up in the corner over on the right hand side, top right hand side. So if you are new here. So this is what we're doing. I'm not sure if I need to bring some light over onto the subject, like that maybe. Let us know if that's better. Let's see what I can do for you. I'll tell you what, let's go full blast, shall we? Okay, looking good. Also, got tea. So, cheers everybody. Welcome to Sigma Prepper, live in the lab. So yeah, live in the lab is going to be a new segment that I'm going to be doing where I'm just going to waffle on. And while I'm working, I might as well have my wolf pack with me, keeping me company. Or maybe I'm keeping you company, one of the two. So the idea is, this is a remote controlled gimbal that I designed, as I said. So this is all made out of CNC aluminium plates that I designed in 2D and then had them cut in aluminium plates. This is not aluminium. This is trapholite, which is non-conductive, and this carries antennas on here, big massive Yagi antennas, as a pan and tilt. So the pan section here, I've just rebuilt the pan section. There's a pretty heavy duty bearing in there. It's good for about 400 pounds of weight. So as you can imagine, you can kind of mount anything you want on this, which is one of the reasons I built it. Originally, it was a design for robotic shoulder joint, robotic arm shoulder joint. So the idea is that we would have a camera of some kind on the back like so. I assume you can see that. So the camera is going to be on the back, and then as you're moving it around, we can see what it's seeing and what you're aiming at, if you know what I mean. And do let us know if you're hearing everything and seeing everything okay. So this is basically a camera system that I built. Oh, well, I didn't build it, but I added this onto here. This is a 30 times zoom camera. So this is good for 30 times zoom, and then this one is pretty good for low light level and stuff. So this is what you would look through the scope with, and this is what you would be looking to sort of track your targets and things. As it was panning and tilting around, you'd be looking around for your targets. And then we'd switch to this camera, which would be somewhere else on the sides where you would have your whatsits of choice on your Sentry Turret. So it's like a Sentry Drone, 5x5. Thank you very much, Extreme Focus, my most ultimate of ultra VIPs in the world. So this is the controller that controls it. Let me boot it up for you.
Sigma Prepper. Reject the herd. Prepare the pack. System. Disarmed. Manual mode. Flight camera. OSD. Enabled. Navigation light. Disabled. Flight mode. 1. Auto launch.
So that's kind of that's basically what we got here at the moment. Now I'm going to be using this controller here, this gimbal, for tilt and pan, so we can move it around remotely. Yeah. This system, I'm not sure. What I do need to make sure of is that the transmission of this doesn't actually interfere with my radio mic, because it's on a similar frequency. But I think it's okay. No, that's okay. Okay, I'm happy. So this is the receiver. This is the receiver which will be used on it, and it will be basically mounted on the pan and tilt system. Today I've updated the firmware on both the receiver, the transmitter, as you can see with the graphics that I've done on here, and set up the model for the Sentry Drone, and added Tia. You'll notice Tia is in here as well. So as I turn switches for, this is my UAV.
Manual mode. Stabilize mode. Cruise mode. Loiter mode. Auto land.
Auto land. So these are all the flight.
Stabilize mode. Manual mode. Auto launch. Navigation light. Enabled. Navigation light. Disabled. OSD. Disabled. OSD. Disabled. OSD. Enabled.
So OSD is the on-screen display. Which
HD camera. Flight camera. Rear camera. HD camera.
So I would use this to switch between the cameras on the Sentry Turret, between the scope and the normal zoom camera for tracking targets, and maybe a night camera as well. Camera. So where else we got? This one.
System armed. System disarmed. System armed. System disarmed.
Got nothing on that one.
Cruise mode, acro mode, manual mode, flight mode 2, flight mode 1.
So these are all the switches that I set up a long time ago. Well, not that long ago, but for my autonomous UAV, which I build for other people and for myself and things. So this is what I'm going to be using to control it. This is the boot sequence, just so you see it again.
Sigma Prepper. Reject the herd. Prepare the pack. System disarmed. Manual mode. Flight camera. OSD.
So she runs through the status of all switches and
flight mode.
controls and stuff like that. So that's basically what we're controlling. What I'm going to be using to control the main Sentry Turret pan and tilt. And The receiver, like I say, I had to update the firmware on and the transmitter. And like I say, I need to sort something out with this circuit board. It's all right, but it's just, I don't know, it's not ideal. And it needs to be lower profile. So I'm thinking these right angle pins, I might have 2 sets. You'll see these pins. This is basically what it was sitting like this, right? And these cables here, I go onto there like that, right? You see? So that's kind of how it goes. Yeah. Now the problem is that this sits in here. That goes on there, under there as well, you see. So with this is a little 5-volt regulator, so it takes the 12-volt battery that sits on the top deck, pulls it down to 5-volt. But this module sits on the sidewall like that, right, inside. So that's where it needs to be. And these are the servo cables. So these are the cables that need to go in there and plug in. You can see there's a reasonable length on these, and they don't really need to be. All I'm really doing here by having servo cables this long is reducing increasing the resistance in the wire, really. And the reason this is a bit of a chunky thing is because this is a power supply unit for each servo, right? So you got one servo here, motor with this gear. So that servo drives the pan system with a gear ratio, and there's a feedback potentiometer up here, so it knows where it is. But this is a 10-turn potentiometer, so it's extremely accurate. This is like military grade stuff, yeah. And then you got a similar sort of thing on the bottom. Although the way I designed this was kind of like 3-dimensionally upside down. So the idea being is that this can rotate freely without having to have any wires coming down. So the battery bank sits on the top and it acts as like a counterbalance, yeah. So you'd have a battery sort of like this kind of a thing, and you'd have that under there, roughly. And that acts as a counterbalance as well, depending on what you're mounting on it, how heavy your payload is, if you know what I mean. So that's the idea, and I need to squeeze that out of there. So we can get it fired up if you want. We'll get it fired up so you can see what it does. How about that? We'll do the tilt. We'll do the tilt section. We'll get the tilt section fired up. So what I'm doing here, I've got no idea what I'm looking at. This is, like I say, a bit of a beta launch for the Live in the Lab. So what I've got here, this is the 2 power supplies going into here, and then I'll have the servo cable coming off, and then this is kind of like the data, if you want, going into here. I'll explain at another time what these circuit boards do, but they're very rare, very special, and I think I'll probably cry, because for me to redesign these, yeah, and reproduce these and write the code for these, I've already tried something like that, and it's just a bit nasty. I just can't get the resolution. So I'm just plugging the 5-volt into there, so that powers the receiver. So that's the idea with that. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to plug in the tilt. So I'm going to plug in the tilt servo, right? And I think this is the tilt. And that's another thing, is on my new circuit board we're going to make today. Although bear in mind, what time is it? It's 5:30 in the morning. I haven't been to sleep yet, but you know me. So should we fire it up and see what it does? Stand back, everyone. Anything could happen. So what we're going to do is just put a converter plug on there, look. And shove that in there. Okay, here we go. So you can see it's powered up. Ooh, it's alive! It's alive! Right, here we go. Let me try and get it lined up for you. Do hit the like button, just because. So here we go, let's turn it to the side. So that's straight up in the air. And that's looking down slightly. So you've got a pretty good amount of movement. It's pretty fast. And you can do really small movements as well. And you'll see if I move the controller into view, I'll just come down a bit like that. Maybe angled down. Let's go up and angle down. I should put it on extreme focus there. I thought you got up early. Dear oh dear. So this is, so you can see the action here, and I'll explain what's going on. Now, these little circuit boards here essentially are taking my input command, and instead of this being positional, i.e. where I put the stick it will just move there and stay there, these boards take my input, so if I move it a little bit, it will move slowly in that direction, yeah? If I move it a little bit in the other direction, it will move slowly in that direction. If I do it full, it will go really fast, full speed, right? And then it will just stop when it gets to the end. But that's not how it would normally work. That's because these circuit boards are manipulating the signals going in and out. Long story, but it just makes it far more positionable, yeah, when it comes to your tilt section. So that's the tilt of the Sentry Turret. This is basically going to be, and the tilt's really important. It's not quite as fast. I mean, this is fast for the amount of force that it can move. And I'll get the camera in there so you can see what's going on. You can see what's going on with the gear mechanisms there. Yeah. I'm not sure if you can see very clearly, but it's on, it's supposed to be on autofocus, but we'll see. So that's what's going on with that then. And obviously the gear at the bottom is the main servo gear. So can you see everything? Let me know if you can see everything okay. Now, I've got various methods for moving this around. Obviously, the RC controller is one of them. Now, the other option, because the other thing I built this for as well that I've used it for, I need to put the screws back in there as well, that we'll do. But the other thing I built this and I've used this for is as a automatic positioning system for solar panel, because it can take quite a lot of weight. But there comes a point where it's not particularly efficient. So that's basically the gubbins, and you can see it's a right mess. This lot's a big mess. Now this receiver doesn't need to be as big as this. I mean, this is good for about a 10-kilometer range, so I'd be able to control this. I'd be able to control this Sentry Turret from 11 kilometers, 12 kilometers away, something like that. So that's the idea, and that's a bit overkill. This will be much smaller and be built inside, and there needs to be a video transmitter on here as well. So that's kind of how she looks. That's what she's supposed to do. Let's just unplug the power from that, and we'll shut my...
Warning, the receiver is still connected.
Okay. Right. Job done. So what we're going to do is remove the servo connector from there. We'll move the pan and tilt system to one side. In fact, I'm going to put that on a tripod here. Let me show you. You see, there's a tripod system that it sits on. It's like a big speaker stand, yeah. So that's what I'm working with, basically. Big old speaker stand. Right, let's just move this out of the way then. And I thought I might as well. Oh, good to see you, Daily Survival. Good to see you. Cheers, my darlings. Can you see that? You can see that. We'll do some writing, shall we? Well, shall we do some planning? There we go. Except I'm having some tea. I've got some biscuits here as well, look. Digestives. Chocolate digestive biscuits. Yummy. So I hope everybody's well. So where are you at the moment then, Ghost Cowboy? I did ask him. Let's have a look. Because Ghost Cowboy treks about. We never know where he is in the country. Just munching on a biscuit, don't mind me. So, I'm going to be doing some strip board design. Something like that. And that. And I'll use this original board that I made ages ago. And it kind of does what it needs to do, but like I say, these plugs stick up way too high. It's not ideal. And I don't like the fact that I don't like this. I need my little pointing tool, don't I? Yes, Andy, you do. Go and get your pointing tool, Andy. Okay, let's go get the pointing tool. Here we go. Got the pointing tool. Not sure what the but you can see this sheath of the cable here. Hold on. It's difficult because I can't actually see what it's looking at. But this one here is sort of come back on it, which isn't a very good look. I wonder if can I get it to focus or not? I wonder if there's a maximum focus distance. But anyway, there's a bit of sheath that's pulled back on here. It's not pulled back, it's just, that's how it came. So I'm probably gonna desolder that and resolder on here some silicon cable. Now these are the power supplies for each servo, which I've got dedicated. These are programmable. I've programmed these to 8.4 volt. The servos that I'm using are titanium geared Super Bucks servos, and they can handle up to 8.4 volts. That's what I've set these to give it maximum oomph. So each servo gets 8.4 volt out of here. I've got to give it up to about 16-20 volt in here, and I've programmed this already with a special controller thing. So I don't really need this yellow one, this orange wire. I could do with losing the orange wire, to be honest. So I'm probably going to desolder these, put some new wire on. I'll probably do something with these as well. This does feel like I've used silicon. I think this was the wire that was on there before, so. But these capacitors aren't great. I mean, they're good. They're good to put in. I mean, I obviously put them in here for a reason. and you get jerks and sudden acceleration movements and things of the pan or the tilt or something like that. You get a sudden drain of current or voltage through the other servo. So this just smooths out the power. I could do with using some perhaps bigger ones on these. And it's just not a very efficient layout, basically. Now, I've already measured it roughly over where the back of the plate's going to be. It needs to sit in the back there. So I'm thinking I can actually go... I'm thinking I can go maybe an extra hole above. Maybe an extra hole below. I probably won't need to. And I can do an extra hole out the side here as well. So I'll get a bit of extra space on there. It's just I've got to fit this power supply in. Yeah, and this power supply is going to be, and again, there's smaller power supply, 5-volt supplies that I can use from this, but I do find these to be pretty good supplies. These are actually hot glued on. I'm not sure if it's worth releasing those off there. It's actually pretty handy to use that as a stand. So I think what we're going to do, first of all, is we're going to get the layout of this and we'll work out how many holes across and how many holes down, right? So let's sort this out. So this is the Sentry Turret. So what we're making here then is the this is essentially the power distribution board. Okay. So what I'm going to do is count these holes out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so we're going to go, I think we're going to go 22 down. So measure twice, cut once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we're going to go 22 down. And across we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I think we're going to go 13 on that. It's a bit unlucky, isn't it? Mind you, let's see if we can fit. Let's grab here. So what we're going to need is we're going to need 12, we're going to need 6, 7 because we need 1 pin gap. So let's see how that's gonna pan out. So we're gonna need one in, we'll have the 4 coming in, and we got the 3, and we got the 3s, we got the 2 servos, and we need another 2 as well for the 5-volt coming out. So that's easy enough. Okay, so let's stick to 12 then. So we're gonna stick to 12. So let's start about here in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to start here at 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is our end point. So these 2 points here, yeah, are going to represent these 2 holes here. Yeah, so I've decided this is the way up we're going to be referencing. And then we want 22 holes down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, 22. Again, we'll measure that twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, we're looking good. We're about there. We're about there. We're boom. Okie dokie. And then we'll just give it a border outline. So we need to go beyond the actual hole. Beyond the hole. So let's move some of this stuff out of the way. And then we'll work out where each thing needs to be, yeah? And then that will be the plan. And then I can start going through and marking out where things are going to be, and then we won't make any silly mistakes, basically. Yeah. So that's how she's going to blow. So that is that. That's going to be that anyway, but we're going to figure it out as we go. Right, so we know that these are going to be drilled out as our mounting holes. No, that's a complete and utter lie. That's a lie. Our mounting holes don't come there. That's just my reference holes for the size of the board. Yeah. So, because what we really want, I've already got mounting holes made in here, look. You see these 4 holes? And they do actually line up with this little chap, with those holes. So the idea was to use some, you know, standoffs or something like that to mount it on here, but in the end, did I thread these? Doesn't look like it, no. So it's doable. I don't think I'll bother. But I obviously made them as imperial 0.1 inch. So these holes are basically 0.1 inch apart. This strip board, yeah, which is basically this stuff. It's just copper strips that go in one direction, yeah. And then the other side is just blank. So it's slightly different strip board look. But this is going to be, so I'll just cut this down to the size we want. We'll make sure the tracks are running the right direction. So this is like DIY circuit board I'm doing here, right? It saves waiting ages for designing a circuit board on the computer and waiting to get it back from China. Now I've soldered over these tracks here because there's quite a lot of current coming through here. There's quite a lot of energy going through this track. So if you don't sort of thicken up the track, it will start getting warm because of the amount of juice you pull in. So if you're wondering, that's what that is. Okie dokie. So my point was that these mounting holes aren't actually, I've extended this to give me more room on here. So I've got a feeling it's going to be the 20s, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, so we've got 18 in between the holes, so I think we're going to be here, and here, and here, and here is where we're actually going to be talking about being. God, the white balance isn't very good, isn't it? Look how orange my hands look. The desk looks really orange as well. It's obviously the white balance or something. But how are you liking the live in the lab so far? I know it's really boring, but if you're not really into this stuff. But the Sentry Turret, when it's done, believe me, is not going to be boring, right? Everyone's going to want one. Okay, let's make sure this is working out all right then. So we need 18 holes showing in between the mounting holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then there's your mounting hole. Okay, that's good. So we're good. See what I mean about measure twice, cut once? Because I've extended it that way and that way by 1 hole. Just to allow me a bit more room, because I need to fit this on as well, look. So the idea was to have this sort of set back, right? And then I've got room for some pins like this or something that I'll put on, right? So you'll see the configuration at the moment, right, is these pins, the way I designed them before is they're sticking right up in the air. Yeah. So here's a small little miniature servo, just as an example. But you can see the way the mount there just doesn't make sense. It's sticking right up in the air. So I want to do them like this for the servos as well. And I haven't quite figured it out yet, so we're going to figure that out together, basically. With your help, and then we'll cut this out from the strip board, yeah? And then start seeing how we're going to fit it all together, and then get the soldering iron warmed up. I mean, I didn't actually do a bad job of this, to be honest. Last time, just giving myself hiccups, which is great. I'm not amazingly happy with the wires that you get with these. They're really thin and nasty, and for something that can run 3 amps at 5 volts is quite a lot. So I'll be using various things. So yeah, Sentry Turret. You'll see as well. There's no one on this corner here. 410 subscribers. It went up to 412 and then back down to 409, and then went back to 410 earlier on this evening. But there's no reason for it. Does it every day. It just goes down every time it goes up. So that's why I've got it set there. And then if you are new here, of which YouTube will never let anyone new here anyway, but in case you are, if you hit subscribe and you don't see that number change, that's a live number, by the way, in the top corner there. That's a live 410. Okay, so we've got the power coming in. We need to feed these. So I've got to decide which end of the board the power's coming in. And you see I've doubled up these tracks as well. So both of these carry the positive rail along. Yeah. So oops. Just catching up with everyone in the chat, by the way. Okay, what's the plan? What do we even need? Let's make a list of what we need. Okay, so we need pan servo. We need tilt servo. Usually, by the way, what I do is I give it one of these. What are we looking for? 22 holes. And I usually, well, not usually, I always list it as 22 holes showing, 12 holes showing, yeah, on the board as I cut it out. Okay, so we need the pan servo, which is 3 pins. We've got the tilt servo, which is 3 pins. And we want at least, we want a 5 volt output for the receiver, and then we want a 5 volt auxiliary output, which will be for things like solenoids and trigger mechanisms and so on, right? We're going to want some caps on there, some capacitors on there to smooth out the power as well. I think that's about it. So what I've got to do is work out the most efficient configuration, basically, is the idea. Oof. My microphone's digging right into me. I'm glad everything seems to be working so far, though, which is nice. So we got 5 volt auxiliary. That's going to be a 2 pin. That's going to be 3 times. That's going to be a 3 times. That's going to be a 2 times. That's going to be a 2 times. So I'm not going to be doing that together, but I'll tell you what I could do. I wonder if it's worth Let's see what I got in this one. I could do a double mount. So what I'm thinking, these are nasty to solder. Haven't I got any I could do with some non-gold plated ones. But my plan is, and again, I don't want things sticking up in the air. I want them to be coming off to the side. So that seems to be the only. No. So this is what we're talking about here. And then what I'm thinking is I can then have two 5-volt outputs. So at the moment I've got them here, these two things here, just as 5-volt, which is very usable. That's what I'd use all my microprocessors and stuff. I'd power with 5-volt. Things like the receiver, yeah. This receiver needs 5-volt, look. This is where the 5-volt goes into the receiver, right? And this wire's nasty as well, that could do it being better. So I'll do a new one of those with silicon. So the idea being, we'll need 5-volt out for that. And then an auxiliary as well. So what I might do is use two of these. Let's get my wire cutters. Let's get these ones and those ones. Don't need the hacksaw right now. So I think what we can do, because then that's a double stack already. So I'm going to chop this off. Okay, so now we've got this. Right. So I think that's a better idea for a start. Well, obviously it's just a prototype at the moment. I haven't made a decision. But then, rather than having... No, hold on a minute. Okay, sorry, wrong way around. Boom. Okay, so what we're looking at here then, right, you see, so rather than these two sticking up in the air, yeah, the way we can get around that is by doing this, and we can still have it coming out of the side, but we've got a double stack, one above the other, so that's already, I've already decided I like that. And then let's pop that back in there. I don't think we'll need any. I'll tell you what though, one could say that might be, that might actually be a pretty good idea for doing the servo outputs as well. Danger Bob in the house. Hey, that isn't a knowledge hotspot. Says Danger Bob. No, it's a Sentry Turret is what we're doing today. It's a Sentry Turret. Where is the ultimate hotspot? I've been robbed. They were up there a minute ago. Well, not a minute ago, but earlier on. Just looking, oh, here we go. Yeah, for those that are wondering. Thank you for reminding me, Danger Bob. So, these are the new hotspot designs, the ultimate hotspot offline internet product design. So the black ones are the ones I'm going to go for. These are all right, but I have to have a sticker. I've got stickers manufactured that I've used on here, which is fine, but I don't like it. It needs to be hard wearing. So the idea being, I'm getting these black ones, which are far better for the Sigma Prepper brand. So the black aluminium hotspot EDC cases, yeah, they're going to be laser etched, yeah. So we're going to have laser etched hotspot aluminium anodized things. So you'll have the Sigma Prepper like that basically, but laser etched is the negative of it. And then on the back, it'll probably be like maybe reject the herd, prepare the pack or something. QR code. So yeah, see, a QR code might be a good idea actually. But instead of a QR code to go to the website, it'd be a QR code to open the hotspot. That'd be a good idea. But anyway, let me know in the chat what you think. What you think of the new hotspot designs. And of course, I'll be making it'll be the black one I'll go for, more than likely. I'm going to do some experimentation with other things. But I like these cases, I think they're smart, let us know. But these are black aluminium. They also act as the heatsink. And nice and compact, far smaller than the other versions that I had. And of course, with the laser etching on there, that's going to look the business. So yeah, that's the ultimate hotspot. And yeah, looking forward to that. So I'll tell you what, I'm actually tempted to... Good to see you, Danger Bob. It's good to see all the usual crew in the house. So I only need one gap between it. I'll tell you what, I'm pretty tempted to run with a double stack. It's just a bit of a pain in the whatsits to cut the track in between two things, which I don't need to do on the 5-volt output, but I do on those. So. Nah. Changed my mind. I'm thinking maybe... See, to be honest, those servos justify having proper MT30s, really. I'll show you what MT30s look like. Have I got some here? Here we go. So these are, I'll show you what these are MT60s. So these are good for 60 amp. Yeah, these are hardcore. Yeah. 60 amps each. However, these are the MT30s, which are 30 amps each, as the name suggests. Yeah. So these are quite cute. To be honest, those servos, they're pretty chunky. They would justify it rather than actually having them on these small pins you can see on a typical servo. This is the little connector. And the connector itself is limited for the amount of juice you can pull through. I mean, you can see the size of these wires. And just to illustrate, let's get the Sentry Turret back over here. You can see, just as the example, just the size difference in the actual gauge of the wire. Yeah. It's quite significant. But you do get to a point, right, where the actual size of the cable trying to go into this connector just doesn't work, right? You get to a point where, like I say, you're better off having like an MT30 on there, to be honest. But do you know what? I think the way I would do that then is I would probably I'd have a cable coming off here, soldered on, fixed on, and then in the middle of the cable I would have probably an MT30s. I am tempted, you know. I don't even know if I've got two of them. They're quite expensive and I haven't been able to buy any stock of anything. This is all the stock that I've had for forever, luckily. And then you've got these configurations, which are slightly different. Yeah. I use these on e-bikes, actually, are good for the motor, 3-phase motor cable and stuff. But that's a bit overkill. But it doesn't look like I've got 2 of them, so that's annoying. Because I think I would actually do that modification. Just going to pop the Sentry Turret back on the tripod. Sip of tea. What cases are we talking about? Pack type camo, stick my truck. I'll just catch up with the chat. Okie dokie. I wonder if I've got any of them in here. No. I'll tell you what. These are empty. These are XT30s, which are two contact instead of 3. So I do feel like there's going to be some loss through those cables. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with these. And then, no, I don't like it. I was going to say I can use these and then I can have just a separate small pin for the signal, but oh, I just don't know if I can be bothered. But we're definitely going to go for that. And that's 7, isn't it? And then we'll go in like that. And then we'll have 1 servo coming out of there. We'll miss 1. 1 servo coming out of there. So we need to chop that. Let's chop one of these off. Okie dokie. And then we need to remove one of these as well. And I'm going to remove that center one. Remove the center pin, look. Yeah. And then this will be the 2 servo connectors will go boom, boom. So I'm just kind of test fitting it on here to see kind of how it will look. So that's all right. So then we'll be something like that, right? So you have your two pan and tilt, and then this will be a 5-volt output. I might even set that back a bit if I can, if I've got room. And then that'll be right. The question is, I need 4 pins as well to get that in. What's on the back of this piece? Nothing. I'm tempted to mark that out on here, you know, and get something cut out. Shall we have a look? Let's do it. Okie dokie. So I think we'll just assume we're gonna cut down here. It's easier to cut down the lines. So what we got? What do we need? We need 12 holes showing across. Make sure the tracks are running the right way. 1, 2. Sorry, this is going to be cut down here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 holes showing. Cut here. So make sure there's no anomalies underneath. 12 holes showing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All good. And we want 22 showing going down. That is going to be included because we'll just clean this. We'll clean that edge up there with a file. Sanding block. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So then the cut line will be here. Okie dokie. So that's where I'm going to be chomping. Down there. Need a bit more lead in my pencil, if you know what I mean. Oh dear. Right, so that's basically the idea. Looks pretty... Looks clean. There's nothing on the other side that's going to be a problem, so... That's good. Sip of tea. Pedigree mongrel in the house. Is as well. Good to see you. Live in the lab. Oh. With biscuits. No, I haven't been to sleep yet. Shall I get the thing up so you can see what time it is for me? Boom. Yeah, that's not too much in the way, is it? You see, YouTube hasn't put me out to anyone in the whole wide world. Not a Nelly. Not a little Nelly. So basically this is like a prototype launch essentially of being able to do live in the lab basically. Because I'm sort of working on stuff all the time. It just kind of makes sense to be able to... It makes sense to be able to sort of just share what I'm doing, really. It just seems like wasted time otherwise. Oh, I need to get the workbench out. I'm just scoffing biscuit. So I like the old radio mic business, walking around the office, that's nice. Thanks to the Patreon members, I was able to invest in some new Eneloops from my radio mic now. So that's good. I think the battery levels should be okay. Right, what am I looking for? Workbench. Don't really need a workbench, but we'll set an example. Don't worry, I'll show you what I'm doing in a minute. I'll just get this set up. So is the video quality look alright, does it? From what everyone can see. So we need to start working out where stuff's going to go. And we need enough space as well for the mounting holes at the edge. I think we're going to go length over girth. Ooh, misses. Length over girth. What are we going to do about these connectors, man? Oh dear. Dunno. I don't really know. Do hit the like button if you haven't done already. It'd just be rude not to, wouldn't it? So what have we got? Where's my, here we go. So we want that. We got to work out where this thing's going to go. Do you know what? This is annoying me so much. I think I'm going to have to... No, do you know what? I think I'm going to just chop that out of there. So this I'm just going to chop. I'm going to take the heat shrink off because I'm going to put decent wire on there anyway. Well, I might change the white balance actually while I'm there. Because I look how orange everything looks. Well weird. Looks like I got jaundice. Live in the lab. Hear me now. So let me know if you think it's super boring doing the live in the lab thing, but I thought it'd be good. Oh God, got this nasty silicone on there. Forgot about that. They put this really horrible silicone stuff on here. I don't think alcohol's gonna do it. Where's my cloth? Here's my cloth. Yeah, it's nasty if you start burning through silicone, typically. Not a good look. Yeah, it's well nasty. So basically, I just don't like the wires that come with these things. They're really nasty. They're thin as anything. You're going to have so much loss in that. So that's the input, and then this is the output. You can see they've put another splodge of that nasty silicone on there. Can't get it off. Is everybody waking up in England now, are they? Or is it people in America? We'll get the soldering iron heated up. Oh, I was going to sort out the white balance as well, weren't we? Yeah. Really like these little voltage regulators, but unfortunately, that silicone stuff they put on there is well nasty. So we're gonna also so see we're getting it up to temperature. This is my soldering iron, which is cool. Because you can run this off 12 volt, right? So I can use this out in the field. This goes in my zombie apocalypse case, basically. Don't try this at home, or do. There we go. I hope you're not getting smoked out. All this for a Sentry turret, eh? But that's the problem, you see, is you can't buy them on the shelf. Well, you will be able to soon. Oh dear. Hopefully with put on tracking as well. Bit of scalpel work, just so I can maintain pressure on one wire at a time. The problem with this is it's got a heatsink built into this power supply, so you've got to heat all that up before you can heat the wire up. I'm boosting temperature as well. That's about 400 degrees or something, is it? 396, 397. Boom. Nasty. Jesus, stinker. rid of these little bits. In the rubbish. Rubbish. I have my little eyeglass. My loop. No, I do. I'm just gonna quickly. Just gonna tidy those solder connections up quickly. I'm gonna need to use my glasses with my loop. Loopy. So I have my glasses, right? And then I put that clips on there, right? And then that's how I roll. That's how Magic Hand walks in here and sees me, and she just gives you the old Andy doing the mad professor look again today, is he? It's like, yeah. So I just say it. Sorry if my face gets in it. But I need to clean these up because they're nasty. So I'm gonna just suck. This is a solder sucker. And that should be boom. Don't know if you can see it, can you? I don't even know if it's lined up, but okay. Do these two now. Look at this weeny little bit of solder I'm messing about with. And the next thing is get a little bit of solder stuck in there. Let's get this out. Okay. That's better. Okay, clean that out. Right, what do we want? More solder. When do we want it? Now! Okay. Right, we just need to solder sucker that off, don't we, basically? It's so nasty. I really dislike the fact that they put that silicone on there. There's no need for it. Whoa. Can't get my head in there. Look, you can see where the solder's been soaked out, look. It's just so nasty. Why would anyone put that stuff on here? I've got no idea. I've got nothing that gets rid of it either. Even pure alcohol. Right, that'll have to do. That'll do, as they say. So I'll just tin that up, clean it. She's good to go. Except I've totally lost the solder now. I've been robbed. So it's been 5 seconds, I've been robbed. No, it's alright. False alarm. Zimmerlat. Problem is, the entire track's negative. The entire backside's negative. Okay, so they're ready. Those contacts are ready now at least. So we just clean that up. You've got your input here, plus and minus, and you've got your output there, minus and plus. What we're looking at. So that's the plan. And then this jumper here just changes it from 5 volt to 6 volt. And the shield here is quite good. It protects from RF, radio frequency, from switch, because it's a switch UBEC, micro BEC. It does generate a little bit of noise, electrical noise, which I don't need because it's going to be having wireless stuff, so I can control the Sentry Turret wirelessly. So let's go on a little bit more of a wide angle, wide view. Let us know how you're liking it. How do you like it? I have to wait until it comes through on the camera because I can't even see where it's looking at. Oh, I see. It's talking of Peregrine Mungle talking about capacitors, replacing capacitors to. Yeah, do you know what? Most capacitors have about a 60,000 hour service life, or MTBF, mean time between failures, MTBF. So capacitors usually have about 60,000, 80,000 hours. So if you work that out, it's about 5 years, three to 5 years, depending on how much you're using your device. But if it's on all the time, the caps are the things that go pop the first, yeah. Okay, so we've got a 5 volt regulator. That's going to be powering the receiver. I'm being a naughty boy, really. I should be on the silicon solder mat, but never mind. So we're ready to chop this out as well, so we might as well get that chopped out, haven't we? So we know what size the circuit board's going to be. And I'm going to redo these wires anyway. To be honest, I don't really need 4 wires coming down here. Yeah, I can just, put these in parallel. This is the inputs, so don't really need. And it looks like there's a reasonable amount of solder pad to go twisted on it. Mind you, the voltage that's going in is a higher voltage, meaning the current will be lower than the current coming out. Not by much, because we've got about 12 to 13 volt coming in and about 8.4 coming out. I'm gonna stay with my tea. I hope you're enjoying my monotony, or whatever it is. Don't even know what I'm doing at this point. Looks alright from my house, as they say. Yeah, listen to it. Okay, so we don't need that, we'll pop that back. Don't need those, we'll put them back. We should bring this one in a bit closer as well. We'll put that one there. I'm just sorting lights out. Sort your lights out. Sort your lights out, mate. Sort your lights out. Yeah, because I need to be powering things like the 30x zoom camera for the Sentry Turret. Sentry Drone. That takes some juice. That's 12 volts, sorry. So that's the point. I'm going to need a 12 volt output as well, aren't I? So that's a bit of a problem because I was wanting to maybe use a 4-cell pack. A 4-cell lithium polymer, which would give us 16, 17 volts rather than 12. So I don't really want to have a 12 volt regulator in there, but you can do such things. One can do one. Do I even have one here somewhere? Oh yes, no it's not. I know where it is. Should have some in here, 12 volt ones. 12 volt 3 amp. It's a good point. Valid point, mister. Valid point. It's going to get a bit loaded up. She's going to be loaded. Don't need my thing anymore. So yeah, you can have a 12 volt version. It kind of makes me want to just stick with 3-cell battery pack. It's just I don't really have any spare. As in, these are 3-cell, yeah. But look how puffed it is. It's like properly puffy, which is not good. So, and I can't really afford to buy a new one, but I do happen to have some 4-cell lithium polymer batteries, which are all right, but it means I'll have to use that because a 4-cell will supply this camera with more than 12 volt. This lens is atrocious, I'm going to have to clean it. Lily Sausage in the house, good morning. Good morning. Just reading the comments. Right. Just cleaning the camera lens because it was gnarly and now it's not. So I've had to write a program to be able to control this because it uses what's it called? What's it called? That's going to annoy me. Well, it uses 485 RS485 communications, but it's Pelco D. Pelco D. So it uses a Pelco D protocol, which is basically a series of serial commands, serial AT commands that you send to it to do things like zoom in and zoom out and focus and focus and switch into night mode or not, right? So the big camera there Can zoom 30 times, which is pretty cool. And I bought that originally for a UAV drone that I was building for a client. And then I bought 3 different types for the client. I mean, he paid. And then, yeah, and that camera was the best one out of all 3. So he bought a couple of them, and I've used them for a few things since. But not my own stuff, just client stuff. But that's one I've got sitting here in sort of prototype stock. So I thought, might as well put it to use, right? Right. So let's move that to one side then. I don't know if what we can do about that 4-cell or not. I think we're just going to stick to 3-cell. So we've got that. And we need to try and fit this in here. So the other thing as well is we don't really need this. We could do with this not being quite as big. So this can move, this can go. I can just hard solder that rather than having it as a little. So those N2 just need to be, just get out of the way. Not sure what the contrast is going to be like on the black. Tell you what, you're better off doing a lot of the time. Is removing the plastic, yeah, from here, and then you can remove one pin at a time as you heat the solder up. Yeah, you can just remove one pin at a time, which is what we're going to do. Interesting to see. It's interesting to see how YouTube literally doesn't put my channel out to anyone at all. Gonna need my little eyeglass again. Okay. Okay. One. There's 2. There's 3. Okey-dokey. Clean those up. Beautiful. Beautiful, but we got to join these 2 up. That's the problem. And that tells it we want it to be on 5 volt, not 6. Quite a big distance to go with solder there. Come on. Too much flux. Not gonna do it, is it? Yeah. Oh, hey! Big old blob of solder there. But you see, we've saved some room, yeah? We've saved some room on the circuit board there. And the capacitor on the output there, is it? Oh, that's on the input. 25 volt. just a diode on the input. I need to sort the white balance out as well, don't I, on the camera. Right, let's move that out of the way then. We're done with that. I think we will I think I'm going to just quickly sort the white balance out on the camera because it's annoying me. I have to make tea in a minute as well. Right, what am I going to do? White balance, but I'm going to make it desk cam capture we need, don't we? Desk cam capture. Okay, here we go. White balance, we need to go which way? Maybe there. Right, not sure if that's slightly less orangey. Get my phone back out so I can see what's going on with people in the chat. Oh, Krusty Scab in the house. Good morning. Hey, the bed. You should know me by now. I haven't been asleep yet. Whoa. Yeah, I'm feeling you, Pedigree Mungry. I'm feeling you. Right, what are we doing then? So we've got a power supply. We know how much room that's going to take up. Roughly. We are going to have just about enough room though if we keep that off the side. That's the problem one there, isn't it? I'm just doing a quick test fit here to see how things are gonna sit. Where's the cut line there? So that's alright actually, I think that's gonna be cool. Morning Magic Hand, all tea brewing. Brilliant, so that saves me having to go all the way to the kitchen and all the way back again. But oh, I don't know about productive, Krusty Scram. Mind you, I've done quite a lot today. Particularly as well because I had to so I'm just catching my phone up to live because it's not at the moment. Okay, that's cool. Just wanted to see what's going on with the chat. So I'm just checking out what the white balance is looking like because I was just trying to sort it out. So this is looking like it's going to be all right. We've got loads of room on there. And I'll tell you what, because of this, I can lay the capacitors flat as well. I need to get a capacitor out the drawer. I've got some nice, good quality ones for this task. Yeah, let's do that now. And then we'll be doing I need to do some hacksawing as well in a sec. And we got a sanding block. Oh, I'm just digging something out of the cupboard. Oh, they're quite toasty. That's interesting. There's like my little mini pan and tilt I just found in the cupboard. So these are the capacitors I will probably use. I've got a pretty good supply of lots of things, but these are specific for this task. These are good quality ones, 470 microfarad. This will be on the output for the servos, but ideally I need one for each one. But it's just these can lay flat on there, you see. Yeah. So the actual room it takes up. I'm not sure what I'm competing with here, because when you've got, this is what we had before, right? This is what I'm replacing. This is the height is the problem, because the height was also including the power supply, which was stacked underneath it, yeah. And then the servo height. So I'm just interested to see what how high we're trying to beat, because it's too high, it's pushing up against. So 28.8, so let's call it 29 millimeters, right, is what we're, I'm not sure if you can see it, can you? So yeah, about 29 millimeters to the top of the servo connector, which is the problem, the way it sticks out the top. So with it coming out the side, it's going to be much lower profile. So compared to this, it looks like this capacitor is going to be the highest. It's going to be the highest point, really. So we're going to go from like 30 millimeters to about 12. At least that's the theory. We'll see. I'll tell you what, that's well annoying. I could do it taking that out and all. I might even chop it. I'll chop them down at this end, just in case. So this XT30 connector I'll save off there. I need to sort out what I'm doing with these. To be honest, that's where we could do with the XT30, but never mind. We'll figure that out in a minute. Oh, by the way, this is a little pan and tilt system that I built years ago, which is a little, it's like a little miniature turret, Sentry Turret. See the way I did this one here? See these aluminium, this was just aluminium angle, which I drilled out and filed down at the angle that it needed to be and stuff. You see the servo just drives around the center gear. So this is just a pan and tilt for a small little camera that's on here. It's a pretty good camera, that one. So yeah, little baby one. But the one we're dealing with today is a monster one. I'm not sure what I want to do first, actually. I think I want to be cutting that strip board out. Yeah, let's do that. So I've got Raise your hand in the house. Thank you, please. Live in the lab. Truman Show style with the Sentry Turret. Thank you, honey. We've got new tea. Cheers, everybody. Good morning, wherever you are. Clive in the house. Clive in the house. Great to see you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for keeping me company while I'm messing around making stuff. Right, so I want to saw this up now. Where's my saw? Here's my saw. You might as well watch. Which way we're going to do it? I think we'll go this way first. Down there is what we're doing. I'll have to see what the alignment's like. Looks like it's going to be alright. I'm talking about for the camera. I'll tell you what, this is a real pain in the what's-its first though. I'm tempted to go here first. Okie dokie. Oh. Nasty. Okay. We're gonna go here. Could do it on my other saw really, but never mind. This will be fine. Boom. And then we're going to be going down this cut line here. Nasty. Come on. Oh, God. All because I couldn't be bothered to go and get my other drill, my other saw. Never mind. Right, so here we go then. Nice piece of circuit board. So I'm going to tidy that up. Let's put that back in the drawer. By the way, if I go on a break, I have to. My radio mic will reach to the lavatory, so everyone will hear what I'm up to. Right, so we need my sanding block. This sanding block's. I made this in Thailand, funnily enough, so that's how long this has been with me. Yeah, so this aluminium extrusion is just for, like, there was a couple of Thai guys that were making patio doors with the various bits of aluminium extrusion. I thought, oh, that's perfect, sanding block. So yeah, I just glue on, just with spray glue. These sheets, pretty perfect, really. Quite like it. So I'm gonna just take down the edge. Yeah, each of the edges, just to get it nice and square. Should we get some zoomy closer uni action? Let's see if we can get it so that you can see. Oh, I'll tell you what, I could go the other side of that, couldn't I? Just seeing where roughly I'm aiming. I could do with a scope on the so we're going to bring that edge down until the end of the copper track. You can see there, look. Let me get my, what do I want? I need a file. I need something a little bit more harsh than that, please. That'll do it. I'll finish up on that one. So then what we can do is just come at an angle like that, and it will just take that copper strip off at the end. Looking good. Could do with taking it down a bit more actually. Can do. That, my old signage, Jim, is what you call perfect. Looking good. That's looking alright, isn't it? Right, so Gonna get a little bit of wire wool on that. So I just got wire wool basically. It's funny, you're seeing the innards, the internal organs of the Sentry Turret as it's being built. How cool's that? Even when it's all closed up and rocking about, you'll know what's inside it. Look how beautiful that is, look. Don't tell me that ain't beautiful, son, you know what I mean? There's a weeny bit on there. Oh, that's got it. That is absolutely, totally and utterly let's move that out of the way. Waiting for it to catch up. So that's come out all right. Beautiful. Question is, does it fit? Oh, perfectly. That is what we are talking about. However, I'm reasonably ready to go to the toilet. So back in a second. Oops. Right. What do I want? I need to remember to turn my microphone off, so we're back in a second. Lower. Don't know if anyone's still left. Of course they are. Right, I'm gonna actually baby wipe the sawdust from the floor. Stop it flying around here. Right. How is everyone? Have we got anyone new joining us since? Do you look bored too? Hey, it's quite a sexy board though, isn't it? I mean... Anyway, we need to drill the holes. We need to drill the holes. We're just one in, basically. One in from the end. So we might as well mark them. Where are we going? We're going here. Let's use my usual pen I like to use. We're going boom. 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 That's what we're doing. Yes, sir, Bob, it is. I don't like that it's not quite as good a red dot on that one. Oh dear. Right. It's going to be a pillar drill for that. What do I want? Pretty sure these are 2mm. I think they're maybe the 2.5. But they're quite big. I'm going 2.5 on that. Why would I put 2.5mm holes in there? Let's go for some 2.5mm screws and we'll see. Maybe it's ready to tap them out to 3. Good thinking, Batman. Yeah, not even. They're definitely not tapped out. So it looks like they're for 2mm. Let's go 2mm then. See how they sit in. These will do. I don't know. There's not too much slack on that. So the question is, we can mount that circuit board in here, you see, with some screws. I'm kind of tempted to do that. But what I might actually do is instead go with some standoffs. Plastic nylon standoffs. I think I've got some 2mm ones here, look. Oh, the joys of being a prototyping engineer and having all these things just in my drawers. It's lovely, isn't it? It's nice to be able to put all my stuff to use. For those that don't know, I haven't done any prototype engineering for any clients for, well, since 2020, you know what. I mean, I've built my own stuff, you know. I've obviously developed the new tier system that I'm working on. Let me shove her there. Where's my battery bank? Let's do that. Not finding that. I could have sworn I had that here a minute ago. All American prepper in the house. Good to see you, my man. Good to see you. Right, where's my battery bank? I've been robbed. Right, sip of tea. So yeah, tiers, for those that are joining us, tiers in here as well, look. Let's get a bit of height on it. So this is the controller for the Sentry Turret, yeah.
Sigma prepper. Reject the herd. Prepare the pack. System. Disarmed. Manual mode. Flight camera. OSD enabled. Navigation lights disabled. Flight mode 1. Auto launch.
Right, so she's done with her boot sequence. She's done. Can't even get that zoomed out enough, really, can we? That should be right. So you can see the Sentry Drone thingy-bob here. This is what we're going to be controlling it with. And then this is the receiver that will be receiving the signals from it. And what I'm making is a power distribution board to feed the servos for the Sentry Turret. And the Sentry Turret looks like that. Right. Hugo wants to say good morning. Hello, Mr. Hugo. Hello, Mr. Hugo. You can't be sniffing the lens like that, dude. You can't be sniffing the lens like that. Hmm? You alright, mister? What have you got all over your face? What you got all over your face? You just had cat food leftovers? What are you sniffing at? Hmm? Oh, bless his God, sucks. How you doing, mister? Did you have a good night's sleep? Hmm? Did you have a nice sleep? Right, what are you doing then? Try and go with mummy. Where's mummy?
You're not having a tea,
No. Oh no, actually you can have this tea. Oh no, you better have it over there actually, because that will spill everywhere. Right, where's mummy? Look, tea. Mummy's got the tea. Good boy. Oh, careful. There's tripods everywhere. Alright, thank you, honey. Right, Hugo's gone to get his tea. We're sorting out this camera. There's Cowboy in the house. Oh, thank you so very much, All American Prepper. Really appreciate you, my man. It's lovely to see you with us. So I need to drill some holes, basically, don't I? I think All American Prepper's probably got some good ideas what we should mount on the Sentry Turret. I haven't decided yet, but the mounts will be big enough to mount some pretty heavy stuff on it. So I'm going to mount that on the tripod over there, get that out of the way, and we'll start figuring out our plan. So these are the little, that's M3 actually, isn't it? Not M2. Where's the M2 ones? Here we go, M2. So you can see here that we only need really small ones. It's just enough to, whoa, that was close. Nearly had to come over there then. So like these I'm talking about. Yeah, that'll probably do it. Because then these can be on here, right? And then the circuit board will sit on there. How beautiful is it going to be? Oh, it's going to be delightful. It's going to be delightful. It's going to be alive. It'll be alive. So we don't need those anymore. I think that's probably what we'll use, although we can't guarantee it, and we'll need a couple of we'll need 4 screws. Although I think I'd rather use that'll be alright. Famous last words, they'll be alright. And then we'll need a couple of nuts. Whose nuts? These nuts! One, two, three, four. So 4 screws, 4 nuts and 4 standoffs. Hear me now! I'm going to put them in my silicone mat where there's a space made for it. Right, now we're done with that box. Time for some tea. It'd be quite interesting if All American Prepper has given Sigma Prepper a shout out, because I don't know how YouTube's gonna hide people subscribing. I think they just unsubscribe people from before when someone new subscribes. It's more than 50%, it seems, of the subscribers YouTube removes by the following day. Which is why we're running the test now, so people can see, even though it's coming up on the searches for everything that I wanted it to, this video. When someone finds the channel and they try subscribing, it shows them that they've subscribed, but they come back the next day and they're unsubscribed. I get a lot of people telling me that. So I think it's unlikely to be a coincidence. As I've mentioned before, I noticed on 24th of October was when they clobbered me on this channel. They just don't like me. So I'm just having a very short break, in case you hadn't noticed. It's a shame I can't hear you fine people, like voice-wise and stuff. Sorry, I'm just reading comments. Right. Let's do it. I haven't decided how I'm going to drill these holes out yet. I'm almost tempted to just go manual. I could do with a have to have a different chuck in there. Should we do that? It's got to be going in. Looking like it. So I've got to switch it out. And then I think I'll just drill it out manually. Go and grab a 2mm bit. Getting a 2mm drill bit. Nung Song. Where's number 2? Number 2. One of those, please. Number 2, please, Bob. Number 2 coming up. That'll do. A bit of scrap wood now. God dear, so unprepared. Scrap wood, please, so I can drill through. That'll do. So we're just going to drill these 4 holes out, the mounting holes. So far so good, but I'd usually use a pillar drill, obviously, but it doesn't seem worth it getting it plugged in with this. Just going to go in from the bottom. Just make sure we're totally through with 2mm. When I start seeing wood coming up through the drill bit, I know I'm through and into the wood below. Just a bit of spare ply. It's not marine ply or anything. I think I might just run some wire all over that. And then I usually use like a 4mm bit really, just to sort of widen that out. Maybe something like this would be good. And then you can just deburr it. And then you end up looking like that. Yeah. Just super light bit on that side. So this side here is basically going to have probably those like that, with the nut on the top. That's kind of what I'm going for. Right, let's take that out. Leave that there. We'll need that in a minute. Thank you, American Prepper. Appreciate your support, my man. Need all the support we can get at this point. Right, okay, so let's see what we got room for. So now we can start doing some test fitting. We've got the size that we need. We've got our circuit board blank, essentially, that we've now made with the right size, and that's going to obviously sit on the back on the servo. It's a servo mount plate, but I designed this one just as a aluminium plate that's solid. Gonna have to take that off because it's gonna annoy me. It's gonna be a much lower profile than before though. Ideally it'd be nice to have those, the voltage regulators for the servos on the inside to be protected, but there's nothing's going to touch them from where they're going to be. Okay. Not sure what I'm going to do about these. See, I could loop them together and come down with just 2 wires, but and these wires aren't actually too bad, at least they're silicon. Okay, so I can have them mounted here. So whichever way it's going to need to come down that way. And that will need to come in the same side as the input, which is going to be different. So let's just see what we've got going on with this. We've got a nut going there. Where's the input and the output? So the output's this side. So input where the capacitor is, basically. Input where the capacitor is. So it can't go any more than that. So that's the input. in which case we'll need to come in there, leaving enough room. I mean, the capacitor can hang over the edge, to be honest. Yeah, there's no reason why not. That's the input though, isn't it, the capacitor, so in fact it would need to be that way round. Maybe we'll come here. That's alright, it's not in the way of anything. So this is the input side, and so is this is the input side. So this will be the main thing coming out. So then what we'll need to do is to take this connector off, and then that connector there will be coming off that side. These will be coming off the same side. I have to figure out what I'm going to do. See what I'm going to do with the back of it to wire it in. So that's the output. It's on the right side. So in which case it makes sense then. It would actually make, right, we don't need to worry about, oh, do we? Let's just make sure we've got clearance. So we need at least one hole from the side. So we need one hole showing. So that would work well, because that's like lich from the other side of that. Like it. So that's the output, 5 volt going into, this will be the 5 volt supply, 2 rails of 5 volt, one for the receiver, one for auxiliary. Oh, we need a 12 volt. We need a 12 volt output, or should I say a source voltage output as well. I think we might have to do that in a different way. Biscuit time. Well, right. Oh fuck. We've got to fit the cap in here. See, these should have their own caps on them as well, but they don't really. Minimal. Virtually non-existent. Just thinking. So we know the output's got to go there. Don't want to have it out this way. So that would be in line there. So if you leave one hole, that works. Ooh, that's not ideal. It's not ideal, but it's just, it's a bit tight. It's a bit tight. It's tight. See, I'm worried about getting the cable connector. I mean, this isn't the actual connector, but it will do for a... Yeah, see, that connector is knocking up against the thing. I don't think I'm gonna get two of those servo in between them. Just gonna okie doke. Just want to see if two of these servo connectors are actually going to fit together without a space in between. Might do. Looks like it. Only just. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Let's try and sort the light situation out as well. I think the light should be better now. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Because I'm not really going to have room. I'm not really going to have room to have one in the middle. And it does fit. It does fit. So maybe we do that instead then. So we're going to want 6. So we don't worry about that one. Yeah, so they're going to have to go right next to each other because there's just not going to be room. Especially if I want to have a space in between that and the auxiliary outputs. That's kind of what it's going to look like. Actually, sorry, this one needs to go over because I need a gap in between. We could do that. I don't like how that's so close to where the nut needs to go. And if I go there, it's going to be tight. It's tight, but it's doable, so decision's made. La decision is made. So that's how it's going to look. Like it or not. That needed to be in line, so let's go on that side. Slightly over. Room for the nut. Yeah. Yeah, it's decided. It is decided, so one back, miss one here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the locations of where the pins are going to go. Where I'm going to solder these pins in, yeah? So you've got 2 holes showing. Here you've got 1 hole showing, those 4 there. So these are all connected together. So we need to decide which side's going to be plus and which side's going to be minus, and that's easy to do because underneath here, this is the output, look. So the minus is going to be on the right, because that can come straight out and down. So minus on the right. So I'm just marking that with a black pen. And then we know obviously the one next to it is going to be the positive rail, yeah? So it makes sense to keep it same the other side. Although it is actually switched, which is interesting. So positive that side, positive is the opposite side of the output. But that's fine, we don't care. No me ne importa niente. And we're going to need this coming in on the input somewhere. So we'll maybe skip it over a couple. I think that's what we'll do. Ooh. Oh, and we need the 4 pins coming out the other end as well. Do we? For the receiver. What we're going to need. Yeah, it's just a 4-pin job, isn't it? See, really, that should be going separately. Just thinking it through. So I'm going to remake this cable anyway. Tea time and biscuit time. Fine. So it makes sense then. If the auxiliary is already dictated for minus and positive, I'll follow the same format, minus and positive on the servo connections as well. With one gap either side. So we'll just mark that up. Then we know the score. That's going to be red down the middle. That's going to be red. And then I usually use green for the signals. So that's how she's going to roll. And it's important we mark that because you know, when I come back to it in years to come, I'm going to need to know which way around to put the servo connectors on. Right. I need to work out where I need to break tracks as well. So we've got minus, plus, minus, plus, signal, minus, plus signal. I think that's it. We need an input somewhere. I think we're going to take it from this side. So I think we're just going to make this. This is going to be the neg. And I think we'll miss a couple. Where's this going to be? Oh, wrong way. That's going to be that way. So we don't want it too near that capacitor. It doesn't matter because it's coming out from underneath, isn't it? So that'll be fine. We've got to think three-dimensionally. So we'll run that line down then. That makes sense. We'll have a negative rail all the way down that side. There, and I'll double that up as well on the side there. We'll have a dual negative rail running down there, and I'll solder the track all the way down, and that will give it some extra oomph. So the question is where we're going to have positive. I think needs to be maybe in here somewhere. Where's it coming in? Yeah, I don't want it too far away from there. Okay, so let's just go the two next to it. Let's miss 1 and 2 next to it. Yeah, so this is what we're going to do. This is going to be the in, so the main power coming in, which is going to be this connector here. So that's going to be the main input. So we're actually up against that, so we're going to have this whole thing here is going to be the negative. We're going to miss 1, and then we got this track here and this track here that we'll be doing as a positive, main positive input, 12 volt. Yeah. And then this up here is 5 volt. Yeah. And then this is, we need to decide. I think we'll go pan. We'll go pan here. Let's just section that off. And we'll go tilt there. And of course this is our 5 volt auxiliary power, which will be powering the receiver. So this will be joined. We've got a cap to go in there. Got that. Cap, regulator, which we'll draw in now. So it's coming here, isn't it? How many tracks does it take up? You see, we can do it to scale, right? We need enough room here for the nut to go in. In fact, we could do with assuming, we're better off assuming the diameter of the standoff, just the worst case scenario. So we got basically 4 tracks showing, including that one. 1, 2, 3, 4 showing. So we're basically here. And the cap's coming down here. 4 showing. 1, 2, 3, 4 showing. So we're about here. And it goes pretty much up to there. So we're just going to draw this regulator in and we can see roughly where it's going to come to. Yeah. So when that's in place like that, we got the 2 holes showing. We're going to need to be right forward for that, aren't we? I'd quite like to come 3. I could come back there. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So we got 1 showing. Yeah, that's where we're going. We've got 1, 2 showing. So that wants to be set back then. That wants to be there. That works. That works. So you see there, in terms of the size, that's kind of how she's going to look. So that's how I've got it here anyway. 2 holes showing, 1 hole showing, in line, meets up, in line with that 3rd pin here on the servo, boom, down, and again we've got 2 holes showing from here, from the bottom. So it wants to come down a bit more. So capacitor's not going there. Might have to do something different with the capacitors, I think. Because these are massive. The question is, do I just have 1 for the whole input? I'm tempted to, in which case I may actually move the input over to the left, where the capacitor is going to be, and it can run straight through and in. Yeah. Tempted. I'm sure I'm missing something. I'm sure there's something I'm missing. It's all going far too well. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Oh, Kaza, hello my darling. Sorry, I've only just looked at the chat. Great to see you. Is it a beautiful day? Looks cloudy from where I'm looking. Yeah, so that's going to be super low profile, isn't it, compared to before? We haven't got the old pins on there coming in from the receiver though, have we? That's a problem. But do you know what? I'm going to do that as just soldered on. I'm just going to do that as soldered on. I think I might even be... They're all going to the same place, aren't they? Okay. I've decided. I'm not sure which side they come out actually. Doesn't matter, I can feed that in anyway. Problem is though, is that's going to be really low. Oh no, hold on. No, that has to be further down. Now, do you know what? I can probably get away with having that over there. I'm going to need to. I can't see any way around that. I don't even know how that's going to be. Let's just... I want to check something quickly. Because if that's in there, we're going to have to be at least... Nah, it's not a good look. going to be stressed, which is exactly what I want to avoid. And then we could have that there. The legs can get in way before that. Okay. So what I'm thinking is to have the servo signals coming in from the main servo controller boards. I mean, to be honest, I'd actually quite like to have these servo controller boards on here. So we need about 38 mil. We got 37. No, because I need to be able to get to them to adjust them, that's the problem. I've never liked this solution. Now's the time to change it. Question is how? So we need 5 volt going here. Yeah, the only feed that I'd like to have to... I haven't been to sleep yet, by the way, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Right. Let's give it some height. Oh, look. A new subscriber. How novel. I just saw it go up. Let's watch and see if it goes... Watch and see if it goes down one. See if it goes down a subscriber. Number 12 on the like button, says All American Prepper. Okie doke. So, Sentry Turret. Sentry Drone. Don't ask what's going to be mounted on here. Okay. It was on 413 yesterday morning, and then it went 412, then 409. Yeah. I've lost 50%. I've never done... You have to do something pretty bad to lose 50% of your subscribers, right? And I've never done anything bad. I've had like pretty much 100% like ratio on all my videos apart from trolls. We all know who that is. So, yeah. They banned me from Google homepage when I was top on every search engine, since I used to be an SEO expert back in the day, or I still really am now, I suppose, technically, but yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying, we're all at the mercy. At the mercy, I tell you. Need to decide what we're going to do with them vision lock boards. I'd like them to not be anything to do with the receivers. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from the receiver, which is this chap here. So this is the receiver. And I think I'm going to take these boards off. And I think I'd quite like to mount them not on here, because it is pretty much the bane of my life. Pretty much. Oh man. I could do it taking these off and just have... So what we've got missing off here so far, we need to figure out what the input's doing. And we've got these chaps. I'll tell you what we could do. How much room we got at the front and the back? Plenty. Okay, that's an option then. XT30 is what I'm thinking. But I suppose it'd have to be this. So I'm thinking XT30 with board mount, and then because these connectors fit Imperial 0.1 inch, so I might have that that would be on the back. Where's the mounting holes? There. Let's get it plugged in as though it was. To be honest, you are sometimes better off using these ones, and you can rotate these around and the cups sit flat. But that's providing power out, so it needs to be one of these. And I'd rotate those around. And then we want one of these, so just to see how much room it's going to take up. So for example, we would have that on there. That would be mounted on there. So it does stick out a bit. It's not too epic. That's where the wires would come out. Because what I'm thinking, right, it would be this side, but what I'm thinking is it'd be sticking out of there like that. This would be the main power coming out, right? And then that would be, these would be powered off this socket. And then I can unplug it from the board, right? Just say yes. Just agree. Yes. That would work, but we also need to come in. So this is the LiPo. This is the LiPo battery here. Input, plus and minus. Which means that then XT30, it would be an output of power, so it comes straight back out. I can use that as a reference point. Tea's nearly out. Tea's nearly out. Spill the tea. So, Sentry Turret, Sentry Drone. Be good to hear your ideas as to what you'd put on it. It's a shame about the old crossbows would be good, but obviously recoiling it, recocking it would be a bit of a problem. Obviously we're a little bit limited in the UK in terms of what we're allowed, because we can't be trusted, you see. So I'm gonna have to come quite close to that. Oh, that's a point. We need to make sure we've got enough gap. Yeah, because the whole point of these standoffs is it gives us enough room. Yeah, look, perfect. You could get the whole thing under there if you wanted to. See what I mean? That's gonna stick out. It'll be like this. Whoop, to daisy. Yeah, it's pretty perfect. So that's gonna be good. Okay, so where? Where is the question? So it's basically just up to that edge. So if we assume that bit hangs out, I don't know, it still feels a little bit tight to me. It's going to be pretty, the way that's going to jut out, it's going to be pretty close to the edge. So most of America will be going to sleep soon, Nick. Are you having Scooby snacks daily? I'll tell you what. Nah. Don't know if I'm happy with that. It's either that or I solder them straight on, which I'm tempted to do. That regulator's a right pain in the whatsits. But we do need a nice steady power supply. And I do need it to be somewhat capable. Is Magic Hand still in the chat? Wonder if she can hear requests for tea. God dear. I'm really nervous about that because I've just got a feeling it's just going to jut out just a little bit too much. It's just going to be really annoying. It's just going to be super close. I don't see the point. I think we're going to do it a different way. I've got music going in my headphones, by the way. It's a shame I can't have the music playing out. 50 cal. I'll go with that, American Prepper. Whoa. So maybe we'll do those two in there. We'll do those two in there. And we'll do that one on top of it, under it. And then we don't need to worry about that. Okay, I'm happy with that. Not quite sure. Not quite sure exactly what I'm planning to do with the... I do feel like the input should be on the other side. Why? Have you been to sleep yet, Daily Survival? If your wake time's usually in an hour? Or you've been chilling all night? What I don't like is having to... I'll tell you what would be even better. Really, really don't like those cables. Sorry, I'm just deciding. It's just really nasty, man. I don't know why they designed it like that. I mean, they're good little variable power supplies, but I just wouldn't have done it like that, that's all. Because I've got to come in with the power for the pan and tilt servos separately, is the problem. So I've got to bring these power wires in and these wires in. Yeah. That's the issue. These and these have got to come into this board. It's messy. Just messy. And I don't really have many ways of getting in there. But this is going to be the line here. And this is going to be the line here. Which is directly with this one here, which needs to be broken. So I'm going to need to break the tracks here. And bridge it. Unless I come in plus move over, but that doesn't make sense either. Okay, plan B. Plan B is these need to come in under. That could work. That could work, so I'm thinking just literally solder onto the ends here where the power's coming in to the servo. So that will go underneath it. That'll work. Okay, let's do that then. And then we need to bring these signals in as well somewhere. What's got the most room, the front or the back? Let's assume that's in there. Oh no, that steps back one. Oh no, that's all right. So that goes in there, That's going to be about there. Do we do that there? This is the problem. This is where I need the power coming in somewhere different. 35 volts, fine. The shame that capacitor's there. It's right in the way for the... to do with those wires going in there, really. I'd quite like to just remove that capacitor altogether, to be honest. Because that's only the plus and minus on the input, isn't it? I might modify that capacitor, to be honest. Not serving my purposes. Where's my magnifying glass gone? On my glasses, which is over here. No, they're not. I've lost my glasses. Oh no, they're under here. False alarm. False alarm. Just reading the messages. Cheers to the new day to you too, Daily Survival. So it's not putting, I mean it's boring anyway, so it's just as well. It's fine. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do then. Because it's not doing anything. It's not doing anything more than what I can do myself, and to be honest, I need the space more than I need the capacitor on there. And I'll put the capacitor on some other way. I'll figure that out in a minute. Okay. Let's just do it. So I've decided I'm taking off the capacitor. This one here is just in the way. So we'll heat up the soldering iron and we'll whip it off. Okay, that's one side done. Okay. It's a bit scrubby. Looking good. So we've got a bit more room to play with. We'll have a capacitor on the input anyway, so it'll be fine. Yeah, more like it. Got to make sure there's enough current flow is the problem. So I can't scrimp on, you know. See. No, that's not going to work either, is it? See, we'll go in between that now. Just wonder if it will serve my purposes more mounting upside down. Doesn't matter that they're twisted. Input minus, plus, output. I can just go boom boom on there. That's tempting. And it means I've got space for the nut under it. Okay, that's good. So I'm sort of thinking that's going to go that way up now. Makes a lot more sense. Just the output going over there is going to be... that'll be fine. Because then I can avoid breaking that. It's just how I get these... it's just how I get these power. I've got to get these in. Yeah, they've definitely got to stay on that side. So what is that? 3 holes showing? 3 and a bit holes showing. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's alright. Let's just draw that in then. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6th hole in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6th hole in. So it's just kind of like that. Totally lost my Okay, that's how it's going to be. Should be getting some sleep myself at some point in my life. So I'm thinking we're going to go in here and here for the auxiliary power. Actually, no, that's fine. We don't even need to do the negative because the negative's already joined. Pretty sure the negatives are joined on there. Might as well double check while we're here. Just do a quick continuity test. Sometimes they have a MOSFET. Oops. Sometimes they have a MOSFET in between the negative line. Sometimes it's on the positive. I just need to make sure these positives come out in the same way. Must do. Oops, sorry, wrong one. Boom, boom. Okay. Right. So in that case, we only need to bring the positive in. That's cool. Oh fuck, wrong one. So this is where we're going to come in. That's where this is the point here is where we're going to come in with the plus 5 volt. So this is 5 volt in to the distribution board, and that's just going to go output. It's just going to go whoop straight down there. So that's going to be well easy. I don't even need to connect the negative. So that's cool. And it's interesting as well with that overhang, because it does make me feel like I could put that right back there. In which case I'd do well to put a small cap on the output, perhaps. Perhaps the Mongo mi amico. And then I still need to figure out what I'm going to do about these vision lock jobbies. I have to have some cereal in me, I'm starving. These are always going to be in there, so I think these needs to be a part of it. Do we even? Yes, we do. So this is the pan. So I think I'm going to mark it so we know which one's the pan, because I'll set these up. These trim pots I'll set up accordingly. The pan's red. It has been decided. Pan's red. And I've now documented it live. So let's take those off. Let's take these off. Ooh. Just remove the sticker from my thing. It's a bit of an arsehole. Oh well. Going to remove these. I'm probably going to wire them up differently anyway. Just rip the sticker off, that's fine. These aren't particularly cheap, these receivers. These are about $130 each, these. But like I said at the beginning, the range on these things is epic. Like 10 miles. 10 miles kind of epic. And we need to decide what we're going to do with these. I don't think I want the connector sockets on. Question is, where are they going to go though? They've got to go somewhere. Just a microcontroller there, isn't it? Let's see what the chip is. Just a PWM converter. Okay, enough messing about. Gotta make some decisions. Gotta make some decisions. So I think what we'd like to do then is to have two Oh, it's so annoying. Que muchos annoyingos amigos. I'll tell you what, maybe we could put them that way. Yeah, we can and all that. Like it, like it. What's the height on that? Because I'll tell you what. Oh god, it's just having no access to the trim pots that's always the problem, isn't it? Once it's in, is the problem. Gonna see what it does if I open the blinds a bit. Probably not a lot. Just checking something out quickly. Looking good. Pretty dying for some cereal. I don't even know what time I started streaming, to be honest. Catch you later, homemaker and prepper. Sorry, I didn't see the message. Not until now. Depends if I even make any progress. I've got analysis paralysis at the moment. I just don't want to have to make this circuit board for a third time. Is the problem. Bits of rubbish everywhere. Get that sorted out. So what are we going to do then? Where are we going to mount them? Dunno. Next to the servo would be nice. I'm just chilling and taking it easy, by the way, everyone. I'm sure you all are too. Moji Molder's probably in the shower by now. I'm gonna have some breakfast in a minute, I think. So what's gonna be? Yeah, I'll probably have to call it a, what do you call it, a 9 o'clock. So yeah, I'm not quite sure where I'm gonna put these. Just looking at something. Goal fit. I'm kind of tempted to go up to there with it, and then I'm just looking at the Sentry Turret. I'm just looking at alternative places to put the it kind of makes sense to come straight out of there and have these mounted. Yeah, see, that's going to be in the way. It's doable. It's doable. Because then I'd do something like that on there for the pan then. Yeah. So we'd have one there for the pan. And then one on there for the, one on the top there for the tilt, and one on the bottom there for the pan. That seems a much better solution. I mean, it is and it isn't. I am going to have to dick about with the servo cables, but I'll have to do something about protecting them from short circuit or whatever. I'll tell you what I could do with doing though. Positioning. I could do with like up here somewhere cutting into the signal cables and just bypassing it. So almost just splice into this signal cable here. The other two are the power for the servo. The cables are way too long as well. They don't need to be as long as that. So I'd be reasonably tempted to, in fact this one's the other side. Nah, fuck it, I'd put it this side. And then I'd just be going to the power distribution board. I wonder if I would even need the signal cable was going into part of it. Might as well. Please consider clicking the like button, says Daily Survival. Sandy should be getting up in the UK, says Margie. Yeah, that's a good point. Sandy's in the UK. She didn't go to bed till about 4 o'clock. I can attest to it. Was it about 4 o'clock? She actually fell asleep while she went to brush her teeth, and then that was it. I think she actually conked out while we were in the middle of doing stuff, which happens. I have a habit of sending people to sleep, you see. I don't know how many people I've sent to sleep tonight. By the way, Daily Survival, what do you think of my little, top right? With a subscriber count. Should be interesting, shouldn't it? I'm quite excited for my, I think this board's going to come out quite nice. I can feel it. You know, everyone who's live right now, I think I've sent to sleep. Must have sent to sleep at some point in time. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm happy with that plan. I'm not amazingly happy about how that's going to be mounted on there, but so then this needs to be going down to the receiver. Still pretty tricky. I'm back on here again. See what sort of view that gives. So we should go around that way. Might be better for the light. I'll tell you what, actually. I'd like to use my little lights that I got. Should we see what these are like? Oops. Here we go. Oh, I'm just sorting some lights out. Having a bit of experimentation. Since this is a prototype, it's a prototype beta. Basically, is what we're looking at. What if I put it up there? Is that better? What happens if I turn that light out? Anyway, anywho, she is a beast. It's quite scary when it's whipping about, actually. It reminds you how easy it will take your fucking hand clean off. Well, so if I'm going here, then I'm going to have to come out of here to the receiver. So that's good though, because then the only thing left that'll give 5 volts to the vision locks they need. Yeah. I'll tell you what I'm tempted to do is cut into that, go in between there, come out of here, into there, might as well carry the signal to them since we're there, but not the 5 volts. Oh no, sorry, 5 volts getting carried to them from... Oh, I just need to get out there. Wanna have a little break? I definitely think I should be trying to get some sleep, because start making silly mistakes, no doubt. Yeah, I'm much happier with that idea. Much happier. That's still gonna have to go to it though. That's fine. And then still gonna have to come to that with that. Okay. In that case, I'll be taking this off. And I'll just be coming straight out of there. Down to here. Through this. It's just this is running on 5 volt and the servo is running on 8.4 through the power. That's the problem. So I'm just having to split it off. But I just want things to be in convenient places is all. I don't like the fact that I'm not going to be able to... Well, I suppose I will have access to this, but I'll have to cover this back up so it doesn't short out on the standoffs. There's not a lot of room to spare. And then I'll have to put lengths of... in fact, I can make that super small cable. And I'll probably do it... I'll do it live as well. I'll just carry on with it. It's just things that I really need to get done and they're not getting done. So, because I feel like I need to be, you know, making videos for you at the same time. So this is kind of like a way of doing both really, I suppose. Bit of a cheat, but obviously today is just more of a test really to see what the camera's like. It seems all right. Just, you know. But I'll tell you what, I won't do anything while no one's looking. Lich. As soon as I'm back up, wake up, I'll just like go live straight again. In which case it will be down to 410 subscribers at that point. Because you know they keep taking them off all the time, so that's usually what happens. So this is going to be replaced. That's going to be a beautiful board. It's going to be low profile as you like. I might put in a separate capacitor for the 5 volt perhaps. Yes, I think that'll be the plan. Yeah, I'm not sure what the weather's going to be like today. I'm using my iPad as my live view at the moment, so. Make sure these are nice and tight. Feeling good. Feeling good. Yeah. And that's going under there. Okay, so I'm happy. I'm happy I know what I'm doing tomorrow, that's for sure. So this is how we're gonna end up. Does that light even make any difference at all? Not really. I've got a new LED light coming actually. Hopefully that'll be here soon. I could really do with that. The lights I'm using on the desk here are absolutely roasting hot, so they're not really what I'd call ideal. Pop some of these drawers back. Now we know what we're doing. Boom. Right. I'm going to go and have some cereal. It's 5 to 9 in the morning. Five in the morning. Today is tomorrow, tomorrow is today. Who does that sound like? Oh dear, right, so sorry it wasn't very engaging. I just wanted to sort of come and check it out really and see what's see if everything was working okay. It looks like it is, and the microphone's working and stuff, so that's cool. We should be able to cut to this one, look. And we got the fire, but there's no camera because we're over there. But yeah, so that seems to work all right. We go from there to there. Back to there. Okay, we're cool. All right, well, thank you, everybody. I do apologise, it's not anything too spectacular, but like I say, I just wanted to be able to catch up with you and let you know what I'm doing and keep you involved, because I think when this Sentry Turret is when this Sentry Turret is finished, it's going to be the business. So I'm looking forward to it. And I'll see what the plan is for today, later on today, when I get up. And we'll see. I'll maybe throw some SHTF intel in there as well. But I've had a bit of a weird couple of days since having my community guideline warning for one of the clips that was in my walk and talk. So I removed the clip, reposted it. So we'll have to hope for the best. So far so good. But thank you so very much everyone for joining me. I do appreciate you catching up with me while we've been here. And yeah, cool to hang out, Margie. Thank you for being with me tonight, and you, Daily Survival, and everyone else who joined me for the live in the lab with Sigma Prepper, prepping for 2023 with me. And the Sentry Turret, Sentry Drone is what we're building, and we're going to be mounting all sorts of stuff to it, cameras and things. So I'll thank you everyone for sharing this time with me. I'm just putting a live comment in the chat. Okay, cool. Right, so I'm going to go and grab myself some cereal, and I'll catch up with you a little bit later on. So when I wake up, maybe I'll just start streaming again, and I'll just carry on where I left off, and we'll see where we end up. But in the meantime, thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate you catching up with me, and I suppose what are we doing? Oh, we need that, don't we? Here we go. Let's see if I can time it, even though I'm not in here. But yeah, thank you very much, and I'll be back a little bit later on. And have a great day. Love, peace, and progress to the past.